Are you a health educator who wants to get high-paying clients? Today I'm going to be talking to you about how my student was able to get her first $3,000 coaching client. And what we have here is Regine. She's a student of mine, and she came to me where before she was selling courses and she was doing pretty good doing that. But she knew that there was another level. She knew that there was something that she could do and serve other people. Regine has been posting content on TikTok, on Instagram, on different platforms, and about her health topic. She's helping mothers to flatten their mommy tummy and seeking to transform people's lives. So she joined our challenge. She started learning some amazing principles that we do each month. And as she sees this, she's like, wow, I want to understand speaking. I want to understand how could I apply some of these principles to my business. This definitely makes sense. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back the curtains. I'm going to show you how she was able to get her first $3,000 coaching client. And really, we had her not only 10x her price. She was selling before pretty much the only thing that someone could buy is a $200 course. And she went from selling a $200 price to a $3,000 price, where she's able to get her first client doing that. And a lot of times we hear people's successes, but rarely do we actually have people pulling back the curtain of what actually went into making that happen and how is that even possible. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. First, let's look at what is the funnel, so to speak, in order to create something like that. And what I teach my students is to create what's like a masterclass funnel. And it's basically, all of this is built around having a signature speech. One powerfully crafted message that is able to, you're able to repeat again and again. And it's able to create an infinite sales message that you're able to use as the foundation of your business. It's really profound in the ways that you can use it. So basically, she was able to create this Lighthouse content, what I like to call Lighthouse content. And that includes free events that she's been able to speak at churches, or different interviews that you might do. She has some short videos that she posts. And wherever you're creating content, this is where you take your signature speech, you repurpose it into this, what I call Lighthouse content. And then there's a call to comment at the end of each post, where it's like, hey, if you like this comment, or if you like this content, if you like these concepts, if you want to know more, if you want to deep dive on this topic, if you want to sign up for a free class that I have, comment the word guide below. And then in those comments, she's able to use a software that's called ManyChat that's able to follow up and send those. You've probably seen them on Facebook, Instagram, different places. They really work because the platforms want to actually recommend that you use tools like this instead of putting links in your actual post where the algorithm just hides your content and doesn't show it to anyone. This allows you to be able to create your posts, add value, whether it's through a short video or a microblog or through captions, and then you have a call to comment. Then people comment and it creates more engagement. That actually boosts your content so that they're seen by other places. So she's able to do this, and you don't need to use ManyChat. If you've got lower volume, then you're able to reach out to people. Google Voice will give you a free phone number that you could use as a phone number to follow up with people. Or you could just do DMs in Messenger or Instagram, but you follow with that call to comment. Then you're able to have a conversation and send them over to a masterclass. So let's say you have a signature speech. What we did is we helped her to craft her signature speech. She joined our accelerator program, and what we have is a workshop where we get this done in a couple days rather than waiting months or years or however long. We're able to get done in days while your competitors are taking years to do it. So we were able to do that. And when she went through our workshop, she's like, this is amazing. I joined this coaching program, and already on the second day, I already got the value that I was looking for. So now that she has her signature speech, we had her record it. She's able to put that message as an automated message and create this kind of funnel. This is where the website comes into play, where it's a training that she's able to go through, where it adds value, where it makes a difference. It's able to actually clarify some of the problems. And while they opt in, now she's collecting names, emails, phone numbers, where she's growing her list and this is a powerful asset that every business, every health educator, if you're a health educator that wants to monetize your knowledge online, it's so important to be able to develop a list and having a signature speech that people are able to listen to on demand at scale while you sleep and hear your message, your brand, your story, your solutions, and solve problems for them. And as you earn their trust, as you are able to actually, I like what Frank Kern says, the best way for your prospect to know if you can actually help them is by actually helping them. So what you do in the signature speech, it's crafted specifically, it's intentionally, where you're solving problems, you're adding value, you're actually delivering what you promise. It's not just a sales pitch disguised as training, it's actually training. And as they go through, they're like, wow, I really like this. And you're giving them epiphanies, you're teaching them how to think, you're giving them breakthroughs, and they're like, wow, okay, that makes sense. And then you're able to give them an offer that for those of you who like this momentum, you want to continue this, and you want to extend this learning environment, then go ahead and let's see if this could be a good fit. So after they opt in, they go to the watch page where they're able to watch the video, and now they're going through the signature speech. And like I mentioned, the call to action here is like, let's book a call. Let's set up a consultation call. And on this consultation call, we're going to have, we're going to be able to see what your next step is, how you can apply the principles you've been able to learn in this training. And usually if people are not used to doing this, I recommend they do like a free consultation call. And what's cool is that the way that most health certifications or institutions, medical trainings or schools that train for medical, whether it's a naturopathic doctor, a health coach, or what have you, a lot of times they're teaching you a consultation script that is not optimized for sales. So a lot of our clients, they have to unlearn what they've been doing that has not been getting them sales. It takes a long time of actually having the consultation that doesn't convert to clients. If you're sick and tired of getting on the phone and people are so excited and you try to pour out your heart and your soul into helping them, prescribing whatever solutions would be good for them, but at the end of the day, they don't end up buying, maybe they buy some supplements, but they don't join your higher end programs, then that's what we fix. So we gave her a script that she could use. And this sales script has been responsible for over $130 million in sales. And we plugged it into her business, taught her how to use it, and we just gave her the crash course of how to conduct these consultation calls. And she said she got massive clarity as far as her audience, what they're actually looking for, and more understanding that helps her with her content. So it's really powerful here. Once you're on this consultation call, when they book a call, it can go to their reviews page. And on that review is basically where you have like this wall of reviews, where you have different clients' testimonials of people who are saying these great things about you, who have worked with you at different capacities. And it's really powerful. And that kind of prepares them for this call. And hopefully what you can see is that this process and journey with them is preparing them to overcome objections in advance. Because when health educators come to us, they want to know about how to get more sales. And a lot of times they're asking like, well, how do I handle objections? And I just show them, it's like, what I teach is very different than most sales trainers. Is I'm not so much teaching about how to handle objections. Why handle objections reactively when you could be proactive and eliminate them entirely through what I call pre-handling objections. So the entire journey is designed to help to address objections in advance so that they never come up on the call or when you present your offer, and they're able to say yes instead of have all these questions, concerns. So on the reviews page, what objection does that overcome? It shows like, have you helped people? What are people saying? Or, and then depending on what phase or stage that you're in your journey, then this is like, we're able to help health educators. If they don't have reviews, what do you do? If you're getting your first clients, a lot of times people have others saying good things about you, or you've helped them to some degree or another, but we're not trained to know how to collect the reviews. And one of Ray Janae's big goals for the year that she talked about on our consultation call, she's like, I want to get more success stories. I want to see more women thriving, and I want to see more women being able to apply the principles and transforming their health and their body. And I'm so excited for changing people's lives. And she mentioned too how a lot of her business coaches are like, look, you're not responsible. It doesn't matter if if they apply the principles, your goal is to get the sale. Your goal is to market or to sell the program, and a lot of people won't do it. And she's like, ugh, she didn't really feel aligned with that. And so what I've been doing with her is I've been showing her not only how to get more sales, but how to set them up in a way that they actually apply more, they get better results. One of the reasons why our clients are able to pump out $3,000 clients, and when before they haven't even sold something that is even a fraction of that price, and we're asking them to double the price, to 10x their price, or anything in between, is because the principles that we're sharing is not just teaching them what to do, a lot of the tactical things, but it's teaching them how to become the person who can actually do what's required, and how to teach them how to think. Because most coaches are giving the exercises, the protocols, they're telling exactly what to do, and all this techno babble that makes it so overwhelming to even put it into practice. So instead, what we do is we're not just telling them what to do, we're teaching them how to think and how to become that person, so that doing it becomes easy and effortless. And so we're showing her how she could do that with her clients too, and she loves it. So as they go through the review page, now they're prepared for the call. They're seeing, oh, there are some other people that have helped, so that you don't get to the end of the call and people are like, oh, I need to think about it. Or do you have any reviews? Are there any referrals or any other people? We just handle that all up front so that this doesn't become an issue. Now, when you're on the call to action is like, if they're a good fit, then they could join your program. And I recommend that people start at least with $3,000 at the least. I know that one of our clients, Melanie, she is a vocal wellness coach. And when she got started, she joined our challenge and she really loved what we were doing. And she's like, I want what you have to offer. Help me with the signature speech. And she was charging, I think it was like $500 for a consultation call. And I was like, let's raise your prices. And she crafted a 15K coaching program. And she raised, I believe it was either $2,000 an hour or $2,500 an hour. And she just told us this week that she's been selling those $2,500 consultation calls. Like, this is for an hour consultation, and booking more deals, corporate speaking engagements for tens of thousands of dollars, using the principles we teach in the signature speech, and making it so much simpler for her business, and getting more deals and having higher satisfaction scores from her corporate speaking as she's doing this vocal wellness for them. And it's just because the principles work. So on this consultation call, you're asking them questions that is helping them to see. It's really where you're inquiring if they're going to be a good fit. You're inquiring, what are their goals? What are their interests? What have they tried in the past? What do they see that was missing? Why is now an important time? Like, I remember on one of these calls, there was the power of this is, it's not about high pressure sales. High pressure sales is not the best way to go. Like what I teach is very low pressure, no pressure, because when you learn to ask questions in the right way, like, your goal is not just to try to present your sales message to them, it's to facilitate your sales message coming from your prospects, so that they can tell you why it's so important for them to, maybe you're helping them to reverse their type 2 diabetes naturally. Maybe they're sharing why it's important to get out of joint and bone pain. Or maybe they're saying they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're exhausted. They got chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, and they've been going to the doctors and not getting any help, but they want relief, and you can help. And they're telling you why you're the person that is best for them. So on the call, what happened was, I remember before Regine joined, I was talking to her. I said, you know, Regine, it's a lot easier to sell to an existing buyer than it is to try to get new clients over and over and over. Because right now your business is very transactional. If you have a product and that's all that you have, then which is, hers was an info product, the $200, it's a transaction. Once they're a transaction, you have nothing else to sell to them. You have nothing else to send them. Whether it's the same framework packaged in a book, packaged in a coaching program, maybe a live event or speaking engagement, there's no, or workshops, you have nothing to offer them again. So you can't build a relationship or customers for life. They go in, get the transaction, change their life, and then they're gone. But fitness is an amazing offer that allows people with their health and wellness that could be a long-term paying client that comes back again and again and again, and they'll gladly pay for the continued advice. At first, it's like the flatten their tummy, getting the result, losing weight, but then there's maintenance. Then there's cleanses people can do. There's so much more that could be provided in different capacities, and she didn't have that in her business yet. And at first she's like, well, that's kind of strange. Why would someone buy a course and then like join the coaching programs, and like, how does that fit? And sure enough, when she was on this coaching call, she found that the lady who was there, she just bought her $200 course. She just joined. She was in it for like a week and a half. She's like, this is so good. I love this. And she's a single mother. And she's like, if Ray Janae's course is this good, imagine how much better it'll be when I join her coaching program. And that's why she wanted to join her coaching program, which is awesome. And she's seeing the fruition of what this is, how this actually works. And I hope you're seeing this too. It's not just talking about Ray Janae, it's what you could do too. So just be like, if people read your book, people are going to read your book and they're going to want to know how they can implement it. So if you already have a book, then it's a great way to book calls and see if they'd like help implementing that. If they have a course, the courses a lot of times don't have that accountability or the group coaching environment that you could provide in a higher tiered program. So that's what we did. And on that consultation call, it ended in a sale. And now she's able to get her first client, and she's all excited about that. So that's basically what the Masterclass funnel is in a gist. But a lot of people go about this really wrong, incorrectly. And what do I mean by that? So many times, many times, my clients will come to me and they're posting content, they're sharing online, and they're saying, that they're talking about what they do and what they teach. And I'm like, okay, so what's your offer? And they're like, well, I don't have an offer. I'm just creating content. It's like, well, then how are you going to monetize your knowledge if you don't package your knowledge into a lucrative offer? So you have to, so the first thing in every business, the foundation of your business is crafting an irresistible offer. This is what needs to be done. And a lot of people, like, your signature speech cannot be crafted correctly until you know what your offer is. You can't handle objections in advance until you know what your offer is. All your marketing efforts is not marketing if it's not educating people closer to a sale or saying yes to your back-end offer. So in the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, sold millions of copies. He says this profound concept in there that highly effective people begin with the end in mind. Enoch Leffingwell says highly effective health educators begin with the back end in mind. So what do I mean by that? Your back end offer, whether that is the content you're doing on social media, whether it's before you publish a book, think about what your offer is. Before you speak on stages or do health nuggets at churches, before you go anywhere on interviews, think about what is your back-end offer. Everything starts here. And once you have your offer, this is where you always want to begin with the end. And what I would recommend is don't start on the lower ticket. Some people are like, well, how do I start selling something lower ticket, lower price, like under $100, and then go up to mid ticket and then up to high ticket? I want to work my way up. I'm like, stop right there. That is not the way to go. If you're going to start with a price, see, there's 3 different kind of types of prices. There's low ticket, there's mid ticket, and then there's high ticket. What I would recommend is do not start at the bottom and work your way up. Instead, you want to start high and work your way down. The reason why is because if you're selling low ticket things like a $200 course, you have to focus all this attention on this high volume. You have to focus on going viral. How many views you get determines your business. And this is what Ray Janae was doing in the beginning. And she was doing these low ticket courses. And if her content didn't get seen everywhere, then it would be hard for her to be able to pay her bills. And she was able to retire her husband and do this together as a family business. But it's stressful because you got to find a lot of content, a lot of marketing, got to gain a lot of different skills. And she started hiring a social media manager, funnel builder. to be able to handle some of the complexities of the business. But if you start on the higher end, and I'd say at least $3,000, $3,000 is not a high ticket price, but it is higher than what a lot of health educators are used to. So I just say, like Jesus said, according to your faith, be it unto you. And really what that shows us is there's a financial law that your bank account is a direct reflection of your beliefs about money. And you will never make more than whatever you believe is a lot of money. So what we have to do is start resetting our financial thermostat so we can start recognizing, wait a second, there's tons of people who would love to pay me $3,000. There's a lot of people in this world who have health problems, big pockets, big health problems, and they are in big pain, and they'll be gladly to make a purchase, to exchange the money in their pocket for the knowledge in my heart and my head, and they would pay at least $3,000 or more for it. And that's what we had to do with Regine. She's like, is this gonna work? Like, maybe I gotta teach people how to like build a business on health if they're gonna charge higher prices. I mean, do people actually do that in health? It's like, absolutely. People will pay tens of thousands of dollars on a surgery that they don't need, or some that the doctors made them think that they needed. So if you can help them save a fraction of that, they'd be happy to pay you thousands of dollars for your health advice and get out of pain. Getting out of pain is a highly valuable thing. So her first client was a single mother who bought for $200 and then saw her $3,000 coaching program. She's like, hey, if your course was this good, I know that your coaching would be even better. I want more access. And she's like, $3,000, totally, I'm down. And she's ready to go. And that really showed Regine that people are willing to pay more than 10 times what she would originally have thought. So what I recommend is start with a higher tiered price, more premium positioning, because that allows you to focus on doing less better. Like, contrary to popular belief, you don't need a big audience to make big money online. In fact, you could make a very lucrative business, six-figure business with hardly anyone knows who you are. In fact, this is how I was able to make $10,000 a month in my early 20s, having no email list, a very small social media following, and hardly anyone knew who I was. It's on the back of one signature speech. Our family business was able to generate over $500,000. And it's because I discovered this secret that so many health educators, successful health educators have, but they're either not talking about it because one, they don't want you to know, or two, that's just not what they teach. Maybe they teach how to reverse diabetes. Maybe they teach how to overcome cancer. Maybe they teach how to like lose weight. They're not there teaching marketing. So while many of these successful health educators have marketing knowledge, or they hire people like me behind the scenes to help them to understand the marketing concepts in their business, they're just not teaching it publicly. That's why a lot of health educators, we never hear it. But then being able to be mentored under my first millionaire mentor, Dave MacArthur, he was showing me how he made over $12 million on one signature speech. And I was like, wait a second, I didn't even know that was possible. So I started learning about this. So when you start higher, you can have fewer clients and still make more money. And then you don't have to focus on getting more leads and marketing. You're able to focus more on serving the people that you're there. It's just like a handful of people a month could be able to cover all of your expenses and then some. You don't have these feasts or famines and constant stress of if you're going to pay the bills again. You have that larger discretionary income that's able to show up, give more resources to secure the success of your clients, to be able to even hire a team and be able to afford supporting others. There's just a lot of benefits of starting higher and then working your way through like a course, then working your way through a book, and work downwards, but not the other way. Because here's the reality. If you can't sell a $3,000 coaching program of what you're serving, then you don't have a small audience problem. You don't have a visibility problem. You have a marketing problem, a sales problem. You have a communication issue. Because what we find is that the quality of our life and business comes down to the quality of our communication. When we upgrade our communication, we upgrade our life and business. So that's why the next thing that we do, once we craft an offer, do you guys want, is this making sense? Type offer in the chat below if this has been helpful for you. And I could show you what the second step is, or I could give you some examples of what an offer would look like. What would you prefer? You want offer or put next step if you want this step first. Now, I'll still show you the step, but I can also show you what an offer. Okay, cool. So then I'll give you some examples of what some of these offers look like here. Let me show you my screen. So some offers, when we're crafting offers for our clients, one of the things that we do, there it is, the offer stack. It all starts with this offer stack, because an offer is different than a product. Product is just like a lot of health educators ask, how do I stand out from the competition? There's a lot of people teaching about health. There's a lot of people teaching about weight loss or these 8 laws of health or different things. And the reality is, like, what you do is you create an offer that puts you in a category of one and a competition of none. This is really powerful concept. So what we do is we have this offer stack slide, and granted, this just gives you structure and ideas of how you're stacking this. And while we put this together, the goal is you want to make sure that what you're giving to people, I don't just tell people to raise their prices, I show them how to raise the value. So you're actually increasing the perceived value of what you have to offer by actually helping people. And the cool thing is, when you start with a high premium price program, instead of trying to beat people on pricing, so if like Dan Kennedy said, if you can't be the cheapest, there's no strategic advantage of being the second cheapest in the marketplace. Because like if you're not able to compete with like Walmart's, then you're really competing on razor thin margins, and you don't have that profit to be able to reinvest your time, your energy, your resources, your team, the expertise to be able to actually solve their problems. So the cool thing about charging higher prices is it's not just about what you get, it's about what you're going to provide as a result. Because there's two ways to be perceived as the cheapest or affordable, or like, oh man, I can't afford not to say that. One is to decrease your price. And that is a race to the bottom. That is a losing game. And the second way to appear the cheapest is to increase the value in comparison to your price. So instead, if you can't be the cheapest, then go to be premium. Package premium health mentorship programs. And once you have a premium price, then you think about, okay, what is the value that I can stack or add or offer? What solutions can I provide in this program? What could I afford to be able to invest in, whether it's tools or technology or actually like team members or whatever the case is, strategic partners, affiliates, like how could I solve more problems in my program than I would with just one product? So instead of having a product, you're able to bundle solutions together. Does that make sense? And as you bundle more, you're no longer being compared to what those other people are doing. Now you're able to be a category of your own. And that's where your offer stack comes in. So here's an example of what our offer stack was that made $3,000, had her first $3,000 client. We helped her to set up her mommy tummy revival system. And she has some nutrition. She's got guided deep core exercise workout system. She's got her mangoes method to help them to become clear on their habits and their heart, their mind. What are the habits that she's had to be able to address the accountability issues that a lot of people try to do the exercises, but there's life and motherhood that gets in the way. So she's like, here's the mangoes method, because she's Mommy Mango online. And these are principles that she's found that are allowing her to be able to preemptively handle what these obstacles would be. So she's just going through her process, helping with their abs, core, their pelvic floor, and she goes through. And it's not just the slide that's a secret, but we actually showed her how to tell her stories in a way that she's able to express like how much thought, heart, soul, and expertise went into carefully crafting these to be able to solve problems that her clients don't even think about solving, that are going to make their life easier. So we're sharing her with the messaging, the speaking. We coach her on exactly what to say so that they're like, I need that. That makes sense. So that's an example. We've got, this is Dr. Kendra Lee. She created her offer stack, and she's been selling $3,000 coaching programs again and again and again, helping people lose weight through detox juicing and retired women to lose weight. And so that's really what we do. We start with the offer stack. And in that offer stack, once you craft an irresistible offer, this informs every other decision in your business. It starts here. And I'm not talking about this starts here on this low ticket stuff. It starts here on creating your offer, and that informs every other program you create afterwards. And when you get this order, like you could do the right steps in the wrong time, and are you going to get the same results? No, it's like baking a cake. If you have all the right steps in baking cake out of sequence, it's not going to get the same results. So there's a system. Marketing is a system. And one of the best definitions of business I've ever seen is that business is a system of delivering value in the marketplace. When you understand the system of marketing, the system of sales, the system of getting clients, then this is what really simplifies. And why simplifying is so important is because a confused mind always says no. A confused mind is a paralyzed mind. Most people don't have a content problem. They have an offer problem. So when you're able to craft the right offer, then it goes on to the second step, which is to craft your signature speech. Now you can create a signature speech around your offer that is going to build buying desire, that will overcome objections in advance while actually teaching people valuable insights, giving them breakthroughs to things that they've been struggling with, and you're adding such clarity. Now you're taking away the clarity. You're taking away the confusion, replacing it with clarity. I like how Michael Hyatt, he said that resources are attracted to clarity. And Enoch Leffingwell says that clients are attracted to clarity. Now, why are resources attracted to clarity? Because if you're not clear on how to speak about your offer, what stories to share, if you're not clear on what problems you're actually solving and who you're solving it for, then I like how Andy Stanley said, if there's a mist in the pulpit, there'll be a fog in the pews, which means if it's not clear for the main communicator, it's going to be really unclear for the others. And so what we do is, now that you're clear on your offer, then it really informs every word that you're able to say in your signature speech. And remember, the signature speech turns into your Lighthouse content, which is what you post on social media. That's speaking engagements, that's interviews, that's what you would publish in a book, blog articles, on other people's stages. All of that comes from your signature speech. And I'd say your signature speech is not really, it's not just a slide deck. It's not just a message. Like Melanie, she went through her signature speech workshop. She didn't complete slides, but she used the stories, the story selling secrets that we teach in our workshop. And as Melanie, the vocal wellness coach, she's traveling, going to corporate speaking engagements and speaking at these AI voice conferences, and she's using the same principles we're teaching. Your signature speech is a way of thinking. It's a way of speaking. It's a way of communicating in a way that transforms lives, to really deliver trainings that transform and outlast your physical presence, that actually changes and creates the success in your students that they're ultimately paying for. This is a way of thinking. And what's powerful is when you craft one signature speech, that informs all other forms of content. You've got your entire content strategy set up for a year. In fact, that's something that Regine had mentioned, that in her, this is one of the things that she said on, she said, Enoch's team helped in getting my first coaching client, but not only that, I had an interview from a podcast that was a lot easier than my previous interviews because it was still based on the signature speech elements. And before people want to interview her, she's like, I don't know what to say. And she just kind of going in every direction that she could. And I coach her how to take these concepts, and no matter what they ask, she could always tie it back to her signature speech that's optimized to bringing people back to your back-end offer. So it simplified that process as well. And another thing that she mentioned is that she shared that even my social media manager feels more grounded because of our focus on the signature speech. The reason I joined Enoch's program is for the social media element. It's been a very good process. And so she's saying that her team is more clear on who she's serving, what they're doing. And again, resources are attracted to clarity. Team members want to be a part on a team that's clear. They are able to help leverage and expand your message. Your audience is able to invite people. And when you're clear on who you serve and what you do, when people hear problems in the marketplace, they're going to bring people to you. They're going to be telling your story back to them. And this is what's really exciting about this process. So like, I want to ask you, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how overwhelmed do you feel right now about content creation? With 1 is like, content creation stresses me out every time. It's very time consuming. And a 10 is creating content is easy and I enjoy every moment. Like, because you're able to know exactly what to say and you're not wondering, what am I going to talk about next? Or how am I going to like put together this talk for this new speaking engagement? That's stressful. Signature speech takes away the stress. So I just ask you, what number are you? And so then when you figure this out, then this helps you to be able to avoid spending hundreds of hours creating content for your business on social media. And it saves a lot of time, energy, effort. It clarifies so much of your business that you don't have to come back and think about it again and again. In fact, I actually did an interview with Regine recently, and I'll be posting it on my YouTube video pretty soon. You'll be able to hear her actually saying these things of what it's done. But this is it. Once we crafted her signature speech, then the next thing that we're doing is we helped her to create her, from the signature speech, we helped her to create her funnel. That became her masterclass funnel that she's walking people through. And the third is when you learn how to, you learn how to make consultation calls. So these are how to sell over the phone. Phone selling is a high income skill that can pay your bills. Like, this is where you can close 5-figure deals and be responsible for so much of your sales. And it's cool because when you start speaking to people over the call and you have a script that you're able to follow, something that feels natural, that's authentic, that is conversational, that gives you so much feedback and insight, this also helps you to know how to make your offer. And what we do is we teach, like, create a minimum viable everything. Instead of waiting for months or years to get the perfect offer, record all the videos and go through all the details, like, craft an offer, just an outline. Like, literally, when you have that slide, that offer stack slide, you have enough to start selling over the phone. And we have a training in our program. It's called How to Get Your First or Next Client Within 24 to 48 Hours. And I show you exactly how you can use the conversations on the phone to be able to inform what offer you're gonna offer them. And then, and if it's something you're willing or able to do, then you're able to make the transaction. You tell them up front, like, hey, this is not created yet. And in fact, this is going to be a group coaching program. I'm going to use this group coaching program to create an online course. So they're all going to be recorded. And the cool thing is, when you join today, you're going to be the first one in the program. And the reason that's so great is because it's going to be like we're doing one-on-one coaching until our family expands. And as new people come, and it's going to fill up fast, as new people come, then our family grows and it just gets better. Isn't that cool? And when you frame it like that, you can literally sell it before it's created. And it's not sleazy, it's not dishonest, it's not anything bad, because you're telling them up front. 1, it's a group coaching program. You're setting expectations. That's what a lot of health educators don't. They get so nervous when they're selling over the phone or from stage or online that they like skip information. They think, oh no, that they're not going to want to buy. But that's actually makes it desirable. In fact, I was teaching Regine, I was having this conversation with her, and on our call during this interview, she mentioned that one of the reasons why she joined our coaching program is because she saw what I was teaching. She saw that I knew what I was talking about. And because we have a small coaching family, she's like, I want to join before that thing fills up fast. Because, like, to be honest, like, our prices right now are rather low. And I mean, it's like $10,000 for a coaching program, and we're going to increase it. And they're going to go up. It's not going to stay that way forever. And she saw that too. And she's like, man, I want to join. And she's so glad she did. But my point of telling you this is so that you can see that other people are going to want to join your program, even when you're just getting started. And the question comes up like, well, how do I sell a group coaching program when there's nobody in the group? you just let them know, I'm starting this group coaching program. It's gonna fill up fast, and this is a group, and they will be recorded before they pay you a dime. And once they know it's going to be recorded, then you record it, and then congratulations, you just turn that coaching program into a course. Now you have a course that you're able to offer for people at another tier that could be able to work with you who are not ready for your coaching program. And once you're able to fill those programs, you're able to start packaging your signature speech into a book that is now able to start really scaling far and wide, where now you start creating a best-selling book. And this is something we're going to be working with Regine soon on, and how you're able to just launch. And what is so beautiful about this is we have a system where you could publish your book in 4 days rather than taking the months or years to write a book. We have our best-selling book system is where you can get it done in days instead. And we published our book, launched it a bestseller, and we published our book in 4 days, documented the process. I took my clients through it. Christopher was struggling to publish a book for like 12 years. His wife said that he's been talking about publishing for 12 years. The whole time I've known him, he's been going from one book to another, different ideas, but it's hard to kind of get it to the finish line. So he joined our coaching program. We helped him publish his book, and he had it done in 2 weeks. And then he was able to launch his book to #1 bestseller within 60 days. He's a best-selling author now, and we've taken several clients through the process. And again, but what's cool about that is we had a coaching client, and we let Christopher and his wife know, this is going to be a course. We are going to walk you through the process. Not only am I going to document my process of publishing my book, and my goal was to publish it in 3 days. I didn't get it done in 3 days. I got it published in 4 days. And we got it to bestseller through our strategies in 2 weeks. And I was telling him, I'm going to publish our book. We're going to teach you how to publish your book. We're going to document the process. And this is going to become a course. And yes, we turn that into a course. We have best-selling author secrets. You could go take a look. In fact, you could see the screen down below. You go to freegiftfromenoch.com/bestselling, and in there I have a masterclass for 90 minutes that will show you how you can craft a best-selling book. And it's part of my signature speech for the Best-Selling Book Bootcamp, and you'll see an example of what that signature speech kind of looks like. And we've had people who join, and they're like, you know what I really appreciate about your masterclass for the book best-selling is that it's not just like you telling a bunch of stories of all these people who you've helped and not actually giving us strategies. You're actually teaching us things that we could apply as an author, whether like she was an existing author, but even if you're an aspiring author, you're actually giving us like concepts that we can apply, and there's an offer. So I love that. And that's really the kind of response that you get, where they're not going to feel like it's a bait and switch. It's actually a masterclass showing you how to make big money with a small audience on the back end of a best-selling book. So this is pretty much the strategies, but today I wanted to kind of pull back the curtain and share with you how was Regine able to get her first $3,000 coaching client. And it's a lot easier than you would think. I mean, there's a system, there's a strategy, and people go through this process a lot faster. I mean, this is the first time she's ever made a $3,000 single client in her entire career. And she has been helping women in fitness for over 10 years. I think it was like 18 years that she mentioned. She's been doing this for almost 2 decades. And she's never been paid $3,000 from a single client. But once she had the right system, the recipe that anybody could follow, and she started with the offer. She followed the system for the signature speech. She followed the system for what to say on the call. And then she was able to get her first client. And this is going to be the first of many. And what's fun is that when you're not alone, but you're doing it together, and there's other people in this journey with you, you're able to gain insights and encourage each other and share strategies, say what's worked, what hasn't worked, and learn from each other. And it's just been, it's really fun to do that. But today I want to share with you that a lot of this has to do, like, figure out where are you on the journey? What stage are you on? And if you're unsure about your offer for your premium health mentorship program, then we actually have an Offer Creation Secrets free course. It's on our Facebook group. Go to our Facebook group, and we have a free course there that's all about crafting your offer that will make sense and connect the dots. That's something you could do. But also, probably one of the best ways to get help is if you join me on our next upcoming challenge. We do it every month. It's our highincomehealthexpert.com. And in there, for 5 days, I'm going to go live. And we can actually, when you upgrade to the VIP, you can join me on Zoom, ask questions. We could dig into your coaching offer, your business, what you can do. If you want help with your signature speech, I'll be there to answer questions about it. Any part of the process, we'll dive deep into exactly what you can do, what part of your knowledge, the health knowledge you already have or can quickly acquire that people would gladly pay you $3,000 for and then some. And we just have a blast. So just go to highincomehealthexpert.com or comment the word challenge below and we'll send you an invite and help you to get started on this path. Here is another screen that has a little bit more details you can see. Let me see if I can put this on there. Nope, that's not the right button. Oh, I see. So here is, the High Income Health Experts. You could text the number on the screen too, 424-243-6624. Be happy to help you. And follow me on social media because I'm going live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm actually on Zoom. We've got people live and it's fun to connect together. And each week you're able to invite you can invite your friends to come together on Zoom and you could be a part of this. Just think, who do you know that's a health educator that wants to monetize their knowledge online, that is interested in changing people's lives? Because I'm actually on a movement. I am on a mission to build a movement of holistic health educators who are equipped to get their health message to the masses. And I'm not going to stop until health educators are empowered with the right messaging and marketing and the methods to be able to transform people's lives with their health. I'm so passionate about Regine's offer because what she's helping women with, my mother had. My mother had that issue because she didn't have a coach like you to be able to fix her problem. She got into an injury when I was about 18 years old that ended up making her lose her job, which she got her car repossessed and she lost her house from something that is exactly preventable and that Regine's offer actually coaches people through. And you think that my mother would have benefited from a $3,000 coaching program at that capacity? Absolutely. She ended up spending far more than $3,000 by the lost car, the lost income, the lost house, and all that stuff that took place that my mom went through, all because she didn't have the knowledge, the access. She didn't know what Regine has. So it's really a joy to be able to be a part of helping Regine to help other mothers to be able to transform their lives and save them from a world of hurt that my mom went through. Like, this health stuff is so personal and I'm passionate about because I know that you have a health message that many of you could either save people's lives or radically transform them. But if you have a health message that nobody knows about, then it's not really a message, it's a secret. So if you're tired of being a best kept secret, subscribe to our YouTube channel and find out more and join us on the High Income Health Expert Challenge. We'd love to see you there. But until next time, remember friends, God doesn't call a qualified, He qualifies a called. Have a great day. God bless.